If you're looking for a new way to support the podcast, check out Dubby.gg, an energy supplement company trying to make a difference. There you can use code SIDEMISSION for 10% off your order. Thank you to Dubby for sponsoring this episode, and we hope you enjoy.
Welcome into the newest episode of Side Mission. I, like always, am your host, Rusty Ellis, joined by just one of the boys, Matt Beck. And today we are finally, and we know we are way late with this. We're finally talking about the Pokemon Legends ZA DLC Mega Dimensions. It's going to be our review of it. We've both spent countless hours with it now. We've both finished the main story of it. I've put like an additional 25 to 30 hours into this game because of it, Matt. Goes without saying, yes, people were frustrated about the game having $30 DLC right at launch, and that people were not happy that there was already getting that, even though the game had not been out yet. It was already announced. This DLC, in my opinion, fully justifies the price tag.
Yeah, I mean, especially because, Legends DLC was like a full package.
Yes.
Honestly, by the time that I beat the main story, I was completely satisfied with it, and the fact that we were getting DLC immediately was really cool. I think that the $30 was completely justified because this is a new take on gameplay in Pokemon that we have not seen before,
yes.
Which was, I love this whole, it's kind of like a roguelike dynamic.
Somewhat, yes. Somewhat.
Like they figured out a way, because I noticed it's been a trend with Nintendo games because they also have something very similar in Donkey Kong Bonanza that came out.
Yes, which we didn't review, and I hate that we didn't.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I play it from time to time when there's events going on because I like the fact that it opened up DK Jungle, Island, and then you did those things to collect statues, which they're still doing today. But this game was really great. It was packed with content. It had an entirely new story, entirely new megas, some that I did not see coming.
Yeah,
some that really shocked me, and
added megas for some that already had them, like Mega Absol Z right. and Mega Lucario Z.
Introducing these new forms that of Pokemon that already had megas was really cool because we only saw that with Charizard and Mewtwo.
Yes.
And then on top of that, the difficulty, this game was hard. This DLC, actually, I struggled.
Yeah, you had to actually think about type advantages.
Yeah.
I remember the first one that I failed on was Tatsugiri.
Yeah,
which I thought it was also a lot of the you say levels, a lot of the dimensions that you go into.
Oh yeah.
The gist of it is there's now this hyperspace area that has formed over Lumio City, and you're going into it with your Pokemon trying to solve the dimensions. And obviously it comes out, you find out, and I would say spoiler alert, even though at this point if you've played it. But it comes out that Darkrai is in the middle of it, and that he's ultimately the one that is behind it.
Yeah, the giant portal pops up right over there, over the tower in the middle of Lumio City, was really cool.
But it's right from the jump, you encounter some Mankeys, because Annihilate was the big reveal in the initial trailers, and it was level 150.
Yeah.
And obviously the level cap for Pokemon is level 100, so then you're introduced to Ansha, and the fact that she can make donuts using Hoopa, that can power your Pokemon up further, all the way up to over level 200, so that your Pokemon can actually stand a chance in these dimensions. I thought that was really cool. It was a mechanic I was not a huge fan of early.
Yeah.
Because it felt like berries, at first, berries were really hard to come by. And obviously, as you play more and more of it, they're easier to come by now, and it allows you to really overlevel your Pokemon. But it also was the fact that it introduced new ways to shiny hunt. If there was a Pokemon in one of these dimensions that you wanted to shiny hunt, for a very limited amount of time, because the donuts, based on the amount of calories you have in them, based on the berries you mix in with them, they give you a certain amount of time you can be in hyperspace before you have to leave.
Yeah, the special the stats that go into the donuts that you're making are very similar to if you play Scarlet and Violet when you're making sandwiches.
Yes,
they have different types of type of power ups from catching Pokemon or encountering a type more often. They transferred that over with the donuts. And it did a really good job of doing it, too.
I think this is better than the sandwiches, too.
Obviously, it is.
Personally, this feels a lot more intuitive.
There's a lot more animation.
Well, that was a Scarlet and Violet issue.
Scarlet and Violet, they just were, stand still. It was just, these...
You're eating a JPEG.
Images.
You're eating a JPEG. Whereas, every time you go into a dimension, Hoopa, there's an animation where Hoopa actually eats the donut.
Yeah.
And it's an actual full animation, and I like that.
Yeah, once it watched, you can just skip it by holding the plus button.
Yeah, exactly. Once you've seen it enough times, you can just skip it and immediately jump right in, and it's cool. And it's also the fact that they introduced a lot of new Pokemon, like Mega Meowstic is one one that upon repeat encounters, that is actually the one that's given me the most trouble. Because the attacks are so much harder to dodge. When he does
like that giant barrier wall or whatever, you have to run around to the part of the wall that's exposed.
Yes.
Yeah, that was...
But it's also the fact that there is a ton of stuff leading up to it. Like we mentioned in our initial review of the game, there's a lot of references to like Hoenn.
There is,
and that's true here because you can catch both Groudon and Kyogre and get the Red Orb and Blue Orb to unlock their primal versions, essentially their Mega Evolution forms, which is awesome. You obviously encounter Rayquaza at some point.
Like that's the whole end goal is for Ansha. She wants to catch Rayquaza for her mom, which, by the way, I'm going to say who her mom is.
Go ahead.
It is the champion of X and Y. It is Diantha.
Yeah, which is awesome. Again, it's the connections to so many other games.
Yeah.
And then Karina is here as well.
Oh yeah, Karina was.
She shows up and she's like this big Mega Evolution user. Yeah. She and Tawny will assist you in all these big Mega battles. So again, like Tatsugiri, Meowstic, Heatran,
Staraptor was a cool one.
Staraptor, Heatran gets one as well. Like it's really cool. Like the Pokemon that they picked because they're not. And the first one that you encounter is Mega Absol Z, which is a super sick encounter.
And a cool throwback to the first Mega Pokemon you run into in Legends
the game,
ZA, which is Mega Absol.
And I do like, as someone that I've tried to use Absol in playthroughs, and Absol can be a tough one to use because its stats kind of are what they are. There's no evolution that makes it stronger.
Typing to it.
You have to essentially min-max Absol to really make it useful. And I feel like Absol was really made useful in both Vanilla ZA and in Mega Dimensions. I feel like it's given really a lot of use as well. But it's also the amount of different Pokemon that you'll encounter. Obviously, at some point, the Gen 3 starters pop up. You can find Torchic and Trico and Mudkip, and you can get Swampert and Blaziken and Sceptile. And then in the online, you can get all their Mega Stones. I think right now, the only one that's available was Sceptile?
That was the last one. The new one started, which is Swampert.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that one has started? Okay, good. I need to go and get that, because I have an Alpha Swampert that's level 100 that I need to get the Mega Stone for. But I do think that this is it's a DLC expansion that I feel like if you're looking for a reason to play more of this game, this is a mode, like the Dimensions will hook you if you're really into this, because you get these 3 objectives every time you go in to get survey points, and whenever you unlock a certain amount of survey points, you unlock the next main objective, the next big, rogue Mega Pokemon. And in the post-game, after it, the post-game of the DLC, which is crazy. Again, for $30, I feel like you get a lot of value here. I've got about 30 hours in the DLC alone. And I've still kept playing. Like Latios and Latias are available after you beat the main story of this. And apparently there's even more beyond that. I know people have caught Hoopa, and I've yet to even encounter a wild Hoopa, which I think is crazy. I've yet to even encounter one.
3 Musketeer Pokemon are there too. Virizion.
I've yet to encounter them as well. Like, there's that, and then every time you reset the day and you move to the next day, a new Hyperspace Rogue Mega will pop up that you can rebattle to get more berries and stuff like that. And to get, I think it's 10,000 Hyperspace survey points. So I do think there's a lot in this DLC. Again, early on, it was a little bit of a struggle because when you don't have a lot of berries, you're going in pretty close to, the level that a lot of these Hyperspace Pokemon are at, to where even if you're using a level 100 for Alligator or Meganium or Embor, if you're only level 120 or level 110 in the Hyperspace, a level 108 Mankey is going to give you a tough time.
Yeah.
You're going to have to attack it several times to weaken it down to catch it. But it's also the shiny hunting aspect, I think, is improved, because if there's a Pokemon in one of these dimensions you really want to shiny hunt, you can keep resetting in that time limit to see if a shiny one pops up. I've caught a ton of shiny Pokemon just from this. I've caught a shiny Pidgeotto, I've caught a shiny Dedenne, a Furfrou. I've caught a lot of shiny Pokemon. There are actually objectives that if you get lucky, you might have an objective pop up that is catch a shiny Pokemon.
And you're guaranteed one.
Which guarantees at least one. And likely of all 3 Pokemon that are available in that dimension, you can likely get one for each of them. So, I think it really also adds into the shiny hunting aspect if that's something that you're into as well. I think this game has quickly become one of the easiest games to shiny hunt in. I think that's why I enjoy it. Because I've caught 9 shiny Pokemon. I caught a shiny Larvitar.
Yeah,
in one.
Scyther.
And a shiny Scyther in one. So I now have a shiny Tyranitar and a shiny Scizor as well, because shiny Kleavor kind of sucks. But But I do think that the overarching story of going after Rayquaza and then having to go through Darkrai at some point, I think it's really interesting. I feel like the content, again, it justifies the price tag.
Yeah, I also like the fact that again we are reusing the side cast that was in Legends DLC, like Corbo, and just seeing them. I like the fact that again they come back and then you get to do double battles with them. Like like they weren't just used for the main story. Because one thing that I said that I loved about Legends EA is the fact that I feel like the core cast was really great, like Naveen and all of them.
I think Naveen, Tawny is really good. Yeah. And then, am I the biggest fan of, Jacinth or Laban? No, not really. Or Laban? Not really. But, Grisham is back. Yeah. And he's really fun to battle alongside and to battle one-on-one with. Yeah. The cast of characters actually being used in this, I feel like, does take you to that next level. And then the final encounter with Darkrai is just...
Yeah, his Mega Evolution was...
It's just a fun battle.
Yeah.
That's
cool because you fight him in his regular form, and then he Mega Evolves, and then you fight him in his Mega Evolution form.
And I'll tell you what, you mentioned the difficulty. Prime Groudon put me through it.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Prime Groudon, and they kind of tell you, basic water attacks are not going to help you. They don't help you at all. No. They do not help you at all. But I also think they curve the difficulty really well, where in these bigger battles, you can use another donut if you have it, to continue the battle where you left off if you get wiped out.
Yeah.
If you get wiped out, you're able to continue the battle right there. Your Pokemon will be healed up and all that, and you can just keep going. I do feel like they balanced it really well.
Yeah.
So, as a whole, I think Mega Dimensions is really good. Were there other Megas that's there were some that I was surprised that got Megas, like Mega Glamora. I was not expecting that.
Glamora was not, I think,
Golisopod was a cool one.
I was very happy with that, because Golisopod's one of my favorites from,
Sword and Shield?
From Alola.
Oh, from Alola. He's Alolan. I'm dumb. Never mind.
I would say one of the Pokemon I didn't expect was Crabominable.
Yes.
That one was kind of surprising.
The one where you have to fight two
when you have to fight two of them, and I was underleveled, and my poor Gardevoir, she could not survive because they were just, smashing
Crab
her.
Hammer, Crab Hammer, Crab Hammer. Just
exactly,
over and over.
Yeah. Tatsugiri was a surprise as well.
Tatsugiri was
that Pokemon was just introduced in Paldea, which is our most previous generation. I was not expecting, Gen 9 Pokemon to get Mega Evolution so soon.
What was your reaction when you were in the first hyperspace dimension and you picked up a shiny item and it was a Gimme Ghoul coin?
Oh, man.
What was your reaction?
I was like, he's going to be in the game, which means I have to collect another 999 Gimme Ghoul coins.
Which, to be fair, you get them very fast.
Yeah, you do.
You get them at one point you were like, Rusty, you should check how many you have. I was like, dude, I've probably got 300, 400.
700.
I pulled it up. I had 800. I was like, what? I was like, I did not feel like I'd played it this much. I do feel like there's other missions that get added. And again, the amount of Pokemon that get added, I feel like if you've completed the Pokedex already, because this game's Dex, the base game's Dex, was really easy to complete.
Yeah.
I feel like this gives you a reason to go back, because I still haven't completed the Hyperspace Dex.
Yeah, and they brought back a lot, 400, I believe.
Oh, it's a lot of Pokemon. And there's a lot of good ones, and again, from across, we mentioned Gimmighoul, but Tinkaton is here, and Fido is here, Doxbun, they're here. It's really cool. You see the Pokemon that are brought back, and for someone like me, if you really want a shiny hunt like an Evolution, there are dimensions where specific Evolutions will pop up. Umbreon has popped up, Jolteon has popped up. I want to say Vaporeon has also popped up in one for me. But it's so easy. It's so much easier to shiny on that. You might not be successful every time, but it's so much more accessible if you've never understood how that works. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, what really made me happy is which Pokemon got Mega Evolutions was Raichu getting so much love.
Yes.
With its...
getting two forms.
Yeah, with its was X and Y.
Yes.
I thought that was cool because Raichu is really just put on the back burner a lot because Pikachu's the mascot.
Well, yeah, Pikachu's always been the mascot, and people, and the reality is, what do we always know about Pikachu from the show? Pikachu doesn't like to evolve,
right?
So it's Raichu has always been kind of this afterthought when you look at evolution. Yeah. So for it to get a Mega was really cool, and to get two of them, let alone that was really cool as well. There was one thing I'm glad the story of the DLC didn't do, and we talked about it when it happened. When you're getting ready to go fight Darkrai, and AZ pops up.
Yeah.
And thankfully, the game does not go the route of undoing his death at the end of the base game, which, again, spoiler alert for ZA if you haven't played it. Oops, sorry. The game's been out since November. But I thought his involvement right before the whole thing with Darkrai, because the whole thing with Darkrai is haunting your dreams and all of that. And I think that the fact that AZ still does wear on the mind of all these characters, that, his death still kind of haunts them a little bit. I like the inclusion, and I'm glad they didn't undo all that.
Yeah, I thought they were about to.
His sacrifice at the end of the game, at the end of the story of the game, is ultimately, I feel like, what makes the ending work.
Yeah, because, he lived a long, long life.
Yes.
I believe they say he was,
2,000 years old?
2,000 years old or something like that. And, he got his story was done, and he was finally ready to rest. And, when we got that moment at the end of the game where we see his grave, that really set in stone, there's nothing more for him.
His character found peace, and he was able to move on.
When I did see him show up, and I thought they were going to undo that, I was going to be like, that is a typical, Game Freak move or whatever that to erase such an impact to your story. But the fact that they didn't, I was very, I was very happy.
So I have to ask, and we haven't really talked much about this because I wanted to talk about it a little in this episode. It's not necessarily related 100% to Mega Dimensions, but has Mega Dimensions changed what region or where you would like to see maybe the next Legends game go, or maybe a gimmick you'd like to see them bring back? One thing you mentioned on the episode, and I've gone back and listened to the episode of the base game, was the idea of see the Darkest Day in Galar.
Yeah, Galar would be great.
There's part of me that with Mega Evolutions and how much popular that's been, I would almost like to see Dynamaxing be brought back, because Dynamaxing was a lot of fun.
I would say the same. I feel like Dynamaxing is something that's going to be forgotten because Mega Evolution is obviously the most popular gimmick. And I know that terrestrializing is also very popular. I haven't seen a lot of love for Dynamaxing, but
it felt like that was it walked so that terrestrializing could run.
Yeah. Dynamaxing was cool, especially because a lot of Pokemon got new forms, which it kind of
the Gigantamax forms. Yeah,
Gigantamaxing, it kind of sucks when you think about a lot of those designs aren't going to be used again, like Machamp and Lapras.
There's one really cool. It gave Pokemon that didn't really have a lot of fans. It gave them one that always sticks out to me. I've done probably 4 playthroughs of Pokemon Sword because I'm not deleting my Shield play. I'm not deleting that save file. That save file I've played both the DLCs. I'm not deleting that. But Garbodor's Gigantamax form, where he's got this cruise ship inside of him and all these buildings
got a plane. Yeah, it's cool.
It's really, really cool. But it's also Gengar's Gigantamax form has become iconic. The card Infusion Strike is one of the most the highest priced Gengar cards out there. One that I hadn't seen until recently that is really cool, Cinderace's Gigantamax.
Yeah.
Is sick.
Yeah, he's on this giant fireball. Yeah,
I love that. I'm that is awesome.
Yeah.
It's made me want to go back and play because I'd never learned how you could make them Gigantamax instead of just Dynamaxing, and I hate that I never really learned how to do that because there's a way to do
that. Right there, I'm going to say when it comes to Dynamaxing, Gigantamaxing was a little confusing because they had to have the mark on them to Gigantamax. So I think that's one of the reasons why maybe those forms aren't looked at so much as Mega Evolution.
Yeah. And I think also with Pokemon Day coming up, we're obviously expecting to hear a lot about Gen 10.
Yeah, we are.
It should be Switch 2 exclusive.
It will be.
I don't know where they could go because I feel like Legends EA, despite all the hate that it got initially, and I think we discovered that a lot of those accounts that hated it after a week or two, they disappeared because the engagement was no longer there. I don't know what they could do next.
Well, I have heard that they're see if I'm saying this word right. The region's going to be an archipelago. It's a bunch of islands, think of Greece.
Okay.
That's apparently what they're doing with this
That's
duration. Because Alola was islands, it was 4 islands, but it was a fast travel type of thing. You couldn't really explore, and they were kind of limited to how much you could explore.
Yeah.
So with Switch, if this is a Switch 2 exclusive, and this is the next big generation, I'm expecting these islands are going to be huge. They're going to have their own cities and things like that.
Maybe each of them are the size of Lumiose in this game, which I think would be great. I think for what the Switch 2 can do, I think that would be awesome. I think that'd be the best.
And the rumored names from them is winds and surf or something like that.
Okay, Winds and Waves, maybe.
Winds and Waves.
I think I've seen that too.
Yes, that is the rumored name.
Which we'll be getting both, so it doesn't matter. We'll be getting both of. We'll be buying the double pack.
Get the double pack, even though they're going to probably be $80. Like, I think that's going to be, because Nintendo did with Mario Kart World, Pokemon's huge, they can get away with charging $80.
Oh, I think that. Well, the thing is, I think the difference in Mario Kart World and the game like Pokemon is, I feel like Pokemon, I'll put enough time into it where the $80.
100%.
And to be fair, with Mario Kart World, I put like 55 hours into that game.
Yeah.
Like, I put a decent amount of time where I was like, you know what? I only paid 50 when you factor in the bundle.
Yeah.
But if I had paid 80, I would have gotten enough out of that to where that would have been worth the price. Now, we don't have any DLC still. This is turned into a different kind of episode now. but I feel like with Pokemon, like, I have like 70 hours in Pokemon Shield. I have like 100 hours in Scarlet because of all the Terrestrial raids, all the Terra raids that we've done. And I've got 75 hours currently in this, and I'll probably keep playing it. Like, I'll probably constantly come back to it.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's just so much fun to go, and it's like every time a shiny pops up, I'm like, all right, you've got me for 10 more hours. Here we go. Like, I'm here. You've got me for a little bit longer. But I do think Mega Dimensions, if you're wondering if it's worth it, I think it's very worth the price. And I think that the story is good. The gameplay elements that are introduced are all really good. And the fact that it adds a bunch of Pokemon into the decks that gives you something to kind of work towards. Like, again, I'm a big Gen 3 fan. The fact that all three of the Gen 3 starters are there and that Gen 3 is as prevalent as it is.
Evolutions.
Like, I will continuously come back to this. So, was there anything else that we missed that we didn't talk about?
Oh, we didn't really speak on any type of negatives. There was one that I had, and I just think that the level design is a little.
It's very repetitive.
It's very repetitive. Like, you have like a more open up kind of parkish like area, which is easy. But then when you're more into the more city urban areas, it's so complicated because a lot of the things you're looking for on top of the roofs, and then you have to like navigate. Like,
you have to figure out how to get up there.
Yeah,
I thought the worst ones were the ones in the sewers.
Yeah, the sewers were bad.
Because especially if they gave you the objective of catching a Pokemon undetected, like,
it's impossible.
It's so hard.
They had so many ones on there.
You have to like crouch from the moment you start walking, and you have to like, as soon as you can physically like lock onto a Pokemon, you have to throw the ball immediately.
Yeah, because if your Pokemon is out, your Pokemon, the wild Pokemon will detect him, and then they'll be alerted to your presence.
Well, and some of them as well. Some of the Pokemon there in the sewers are like kind of higher level. And their catch rates are a little, like, all the starter Pokemon, most of them I found in the sewers, and their catch rates are a lot lower because they're starters.
Yeah.
So their catch rate should be a lot lower.
Their catch rates are ridiculous.
They're very low. So there are, like,
that's hunting nervous for me because, like...
Well, you've already missed out on the Excadrill, I know, in one.
I'm so upset about that. Shiny Drillbur popped up. This is when I was first playing ZA. And... a bunch of freaking crocodiles decided to come after me. Sandiles and crocodiles.
And they caused him to run.
Yep. No, yeah, because I was trying to catch the Drillbur.
You've never gotten over that, have you?
And then I threw the ball at the Drillbur after... I meant to attack another Pokemon, and it hit Drillbur, and it, like, put him in that little state where, you know, the percentage to catch him is a little higher. It's like the stars go up above their head.
Yeah.
And when I threw it, he popped out, and that was it.
Yeah, it's like you can reset it to where you can try again if you quit out fast enough.
Yeah,
like you can reset it.
Yeah, that's the DLC. I was talking about the main game.
Oh yeah,
you can't do it like that. You have to save, and you can only save if you're not
in battle.
If you're not in battle, if you're not, yeah.
Which is fair. So but I think despite some of those criticisms, I still think it's very worth it.
Yeah, I do too.
So I think if you're wanting to give it a try, I think it's worth the $30. It's tax return season, so everybody, a lot of people are about to have a lot of money. So if money's the problem, get that tax refund, spend $30 on this. I think you'll enjoy it for the most part. I've told people like it adds a good little difficulty curve, and it gives you reason to go.
Yeah.
So that is going to do it for this episode of Side Mission. You can follow us on Twitter at Side Mission Pod. You can check us out on Facebook as well at Side Mission Podcast. For Matt, I'm Rusty. Thanks for listening.